Halloween time is creeping in at the Disneyland Resort. World of Color infrastructure remains in disarray and kind of a mess, and the magic keys have been accessed. Are the crowds returning? It's time to go to Disneyland for an update. What's going on, everybody? Wade for the Kingdom Report back with you one more time, covering all the latest updates out of the Disneyland Resort. And we start here in the Esplanade between both parks, where we have a giant box alert. Yes, walls have been erected around what appears to be the Compass area. The Compass area is sort of that glossy area in between all the bricks that gives you different directions with the Mickey heads. Perhaps they're just resurfacing, as often happens this time of year. You know, there was supposed to be at one point a fountain where this compass is. Unfortunately, we now deal with the compass that just gets so slippery whenever it rains. Yeah, it's a problem that they have to face every time it gets a little damp in Anaheim. California Adventure is where we are heading first. Oogie Boogie taking over the entranceway as they set up for the Oogie Boogie Bash inside the park itself. You see him staring on from atop the entranceway. And look, it's Clarabelle Cow saying hello to everybody on Buena Vista Street. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't know who she is even to this very day, and so they walk by and say things like, "Hi, Cow," because they just don't know. I certainly stopped and said hello. Here at Carthay Circle, you see that we have some Halloween signage that has appeared. All Hallows Eve celebration coming our way as the Oogie Boogie Bash gets ready to debut here in the next couple of weeks. You also notice a bit more foot traffic in this park than normal, especially in recent weeks where we've been covering all of these updates and how it's just been so quiet. Certainly still quiet, but a lot more foot traffic than I am used to. So I wanted to check in on wait times and see if the new magic keys have played a part in people returning to the parks immediately. And I will say it doesn't really look like it. I mean, things still seem quite light. Most wait times, 10 minutes, even the hottest attractions only top out at 20 to 30 minutes at this point. So moderate to say the least, and light in some areas of the park. We move into the Hollywood section of California Adventure, where we do see that the Disney Junior Dance Party will be returning very soon. Great to see the nod to this entertainment offering going to come back at some point. No designation as to when specifically it will return, but the fact that they put the sign up does give us some hope that some regular entertainment that we were used to, some shows we were used to, will be coming back. And across the street from that, we have the Sunset Showcase Theater, where Coco and the new scene that has been added to Mickey's PhilharMagic is absolutely exceptional. I know I've mentioned that Coco arrived a couple weeks back, but this is not getting enough play. If you have not seen the new Coco scene at Mickey's PhilharMagic, you are truly missing out. It is a must-do. Elsewhere in the Hollywood backlot section of the park, we do see that a Disney Junior photo op has popped up. This is the location, by the way, that used to house the Spider-Man meet and greet. Of course, now with Avengers Campus, we don't need to worry about housing Spider-Man. He's got an entire campus and a ride dedicated to him. And we move along to the Hyperion Theater, where not a hint, not a word about whether or not Frozen Live at the Hyperion will be returning anytime soon. It is so weird having this gigantic theater structure completely vacant, completely absent of anything. It does leave a big void inside of California Adventure. We move along to Avengers Campus, where the Wasp was saying hello to her fans, as well as Captain America and Black Widow. Everybody striking a pose and being very heroic. Yes, that's what you do in Avengers Campus. And great news for anybody that's been looking to ride the newest attraction at California Adventure, the Web Slingers Spider-Man attraction. Not only is this attraction proving to be very efficient, the demand is not so dramatic as it has been in recent weeks that now you can join the virtual queue all the way up until the early and late evening. Yeah, this was about 5:45 in the evening, and you could still join the virtual queue. You still had an opportunity to ride this Spider-Man attraction if you were so inclined, and I think that is fantastic, certainly proving to be an efficient experience, to say the least. From there, we move into the Pacific Wharf area, where the Bodine Bakery Tour remains quietly shuttered at this time. So if you're looking for your sourdough bread samples, unfortunately, you can't get them right now. But if you walk about 15 steps from that door to the Ghirardelli door, you can grab yourself a nice ice cream sundae. We drive on into Cars Land, where Halloween time is starting to appear. Yep, you notice that not only are there gigantic chain link cobwebs along with some spiders, tire iron spiders. I absolutely love Cars Land during Halloween time. It is one of the most creative spaces in the entire resort during this holiday period, and it is totally worth checking out. Elements are being added day by day, so this will change once again as another day passes, and I look forward to seeing the finished product. But again, very much a creative space when it comes to a spin on Halloween. I mean, just look at this. Is that not the most terrifying car you've ever seen? It's like a zombie car is what it is. Radiator Springs Racers, perhaps one of the most popular attractions in all of the Disneyland Resort, had a 25-minute wait on this day. Again, we are a day removed from Magic Key annual passes being sold and people being able to come back if they'd like to in mass, and we just weren't seeing tremendous wait times at all, which was a nice plus, I must say. The weekend will be the true test. Here in the Pixar Pier area, we also noticed that wait times were quite minimal. Over at the Incredicoaster, things were very light. In fact, only a 10-minute wait in this location. If you are a fan of blasting off with the Incredifamily, well, you only had to wait 10 minutes there. And if you're in the mood for a game, head on over to Toy Story Midway Mania, where the wait time, only 20 minutes. I know, pretty wild that wait times remain this light. If you're a fan of the Pixar Pier area itself, you might remember a very short-lived band, the Pixar Promenade Band, that got cut shortly after Pixar Pier officially opened to the public, and this space then became a character meet and greet. It remains that to this day. In fact, it is a retrofitted character meet and greet that allows you for distanced meeting and greeting, where you can take a photo of the character in the background of your selfie. We move along now to unfortunate news. We've reported here before that World of Color, the nighttime spectacular here at California Adventure, well, it deteriorated over the course of Disneyland's pandemic lockdown, where nobody was coming to the park for over the course of a year, and nobody was tending to the infrastructure that makes World of Color happen, and therefore it rotted, it deteriorated, it just completely fell apart, and we see now that at least it looks like things have been getting worked on little by little, but it sounds like a major investment will have to happen in order for World of Color to return. So far, not a whole lot of progress. Things remain a bit of a mess. We hope to see World of Color come back someday in the future. Moving along to the Paradise Garden section of the park, we notice that Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta still remains closed, one of the very few restaurants that remains offline at this time. Since Disneyland reopened, Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta has not reopened their doors. Moving into the Grizzly Peak section of the park, the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail has returned from its brief refurbishment. Everything in here looking shiny, nice, and new once again. It's essentially a giant kids' play area. It's a lot of fun to come in and swing around on and climb through. This is also a space that plays host to a very key element of the Oogie Boogie Bash, and that is the Villain Walk. And we noticed that work was already being done on the amphitheater area here inside of the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail, space where entertainment equipment was being moved in at this very moment. Grizzly River Run is where we are at next, and you notice the giant grizzly out front not only prepared for some whitewater rafting, but also prepared for some trick-or-treating when need be. And the gigantic billboard that leads into this space, the Grizzly River Recreation Area, is getting some touch-up work, perhaps being either redesigned for some Halloween time fun, or perhaps just getting a touch-up. We did notice that prior to heading on over to Disneyland, this is around 6 o'clock, and lines were starting to form outside of California Adventure, as well as Disneyland Park. In both directions, lines were starting to snake back at the entranceways, making me wonder if we are about to see a return of the after-work crowd that was always known to show up in the annual pass holder demographic. Now that Magic Keys are available, perhaps we will see more and more of these lines forming after 5 p.m. as people get off work and head back to Disneyland. Speaking of Disneyland, we are here and Halloween time is setting in. Let's take a look at some of the magic down Main Street, USA. Pumpkins galore on Main Street, USA, and they are not done yet. Plenty more to come as Halloween time fully sets in. Definitely wanted to take a look at some of the wait times here inside Disneyland Park as we saw the crowd outside arriving perhaps after work, maybe just a crowd returning for the evening hours festivities. And you'll notice things are very light to moderate. Things are very manageable still. So the weekend, once again, will be a true test, the first weekend back for the Magic Key holders, as to whether or not things return to the way they were or are more managed due to the reservation process everybody has to abide by. New Orleans Square is where we are at, and Haunted Mansion Holiday has had so much progress since we were here just a couple of days ago. In fact, Jack Skellington has arrived, the banner over the archway is here, and we are seeing so much external decor having been already put up on the mansion itself. Thrilled to see this magic start to appear. It is an absolutely stunning overlay that happens this time of year and runs all the way through January. So very excited to see it back. September the 3rd is when Haunted Mansion Holiday officially joins the active roster of attractions, so be sure to check it out. Something else I like to point out is just next door to the Haunted Mansion is the French Market Restaurant, and they too get into the spirit of things, sort of welcoming Jack home with all of their specific holiday decor that is awfully reminiscent of Jack Skellington himself. If you've never checked this out, it is certainly worth taking a look at the details. That's what Disneyland is known for. From here, we move on over to Tomorrowland, where we recently saw that the monorail station was getting some TLC after a long time of no attention at all. This attraction, once again, has not reopened since Disneyland has returned, and we've been wondering why. Well, now we see facade work being done, and some scrims have come down in recent days with a fresh coat of paint added, some infrastructure work clearly having been done on the platform itself, and now we are so hopeful that we are getting even closer to an announcement that the monorail will return to the Tomorrowland station and, of course, Downtown Disney Station. Moving from here to another part of Tomorrowland, we check in on Starcade. This is the location that is mostly shuttered to guests year-round, but is being transformed into a Magic Key annual pass lounge that will officially open up on September the 1st. Definitely going to be something that we will check out as Magic Key holders. Well, my friends, that about does it for this edition of the Disneyland Drop-In. Certainly nowhere near the insane amounts of crowds that we were anticipating to see as soon as Magic Key passes became available. Once again, though, the true test will be this weekend officially, as people have access for the first time. If you have enjoyed what you have seen and heard today, make sure that you are subscribed to us so that you never miss an update and that you hit that notification bell so you are alerted anytime we have something new for you, and the thumbs up button is always appreciated. For the Kingdom Report, I'm Wade Heath. We'll see you next time for another edition of Disneyland Drop-In.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.